Donald taking over from Beagrie this time. Sharp would prefer the ball delivered earlier like that, but Sedgley saw it coming, and oh, there's a slip by Mabbutt. Cottee scores! With 12 minutes gone, Everton have struck at White Hart Lane. Gary Mabbutt lost his balance. Tony Cottee got the chance and took it. Thomas. Samways. Will Stewart collect this one? He will. Paul Stewart for Spurs, and a goal for Lineker. With 24 minutes gone, Gary Lineker reminds Everton of what he did so well for them, putting the ball in the opposition's net. But Paul Stewart, great credit, and also Samways before him. McDonald hasn't wasted any opportunity to get forward from left back. Beagrie. Allen with the counter-attack. Lineker. Stewart! Spurs sweep upfield to take the lead. And this time Lineker makes a goal for Stewart. The roles are reversed. Paul Allen really recognised the opportunity that Tottenham had with some busy work to get them on their way, and it was swept in thrillingly by Stewart on the run.
We start with a goal that took Arsenal back to the top of the table. And young Merson, Jim, come on as a substitute and gets a last gasp goal.
Well, is he on his way back, Paul Merson? I'm not so sure about this one. Would you reckon, Ian? Good cross. Well, good cross, went wrong, went right, yeah?
I think it was one of them, I'll get it in the box and it went in the net.
Oh dear, when it's going for you, it's going for you, that's for sure.
That is for sure. Yeah. Well, staying with the top of the table, Liverpool and Villa, Deadly Dogs team still going well, Jim?
Well, they're doing it remarkably well. I mean, in actual fact, Deadly Doug went out and did a lap of honour in front of the car end. It was empty at the time, of course. But here's Ian Olney. Didn't he take that well? What a great...
I do think he's an excellent young player.
Yeah, he is. No doubt
very
about
good young player.
He's playing extremely well up front with David Platz. And this is where Barnsley copped it, wasn't it? He did it all himself.
The old hamstring went there.
Yeah.
I can't see him being fit for today as it happens.
No, it always looks nasty when a player does it on his own.
That's right. Well, that's when you know they've got an injury for sure. Peter Beardsley with a little side footage him in the corner.
Yeah, bit of a soft goal, that. Well taken goal, but, you know, it was outside the box. One would have thought Spenksy might have done a bit better.
At Queen's Park Rangers, Chelsea introduced Erland Johnsen, the Norwegian international defender. Ray Wilkins made his home debut for Rangers against the club which brought him into league football. Chelsea conceded 5 goals last week against Wimbledon. They were soon in defensive difficulties here. Rangers' 22-year-old striker Les Ferdinand with his first goal in the First Division. Ferdinand, who spent last season on loan in Turkey. Chelsea behind after 9 minutes. Rangers reviving with Don Howe now at the helm, and surviving a Chelsea equaliser 12 minutes later. Alan Dickens with the volley that was just too well directed for Tony Roberts in the Rangers goal. As is so often the case, early goals really opening up the game. Chelsea caught out here by Mark Falco. But Falco this time dragged his shot wide. This was a crucial phase in the match. Chelsea had their chances. John Bumstead denied by Roberts' sharp reflexes. And they came even closer here. Johnsen well forward, and the ball then deflecting first off Paul Parker and then the post. 34 minutes gone now, and Ferdinand still functioning well. The header looping beyond the lunge of Dave Besant. 2-1 to Queen's Park Rangers. The moment of the match came 3 minutes into the second half. A brilliant piece of opportunism by Falco. Mark Falco had fired in spectacularly at the same end for the goal which beat Liverpool 4 weeks earlier. This one, even better. Chelsea still made chances. Substitute Clive Wilson with a wriggling run, but Kerry Dixon's usual deadly aim deserted him. And after that, Wilson sought his own route to goal and very nearly found it. By now, Ferdinand had departed to a standing ovation, but his replacement, Colin Clark, was certainly caught up in the same mood. Chelsea left appealing in vain for offside, 4-1 down. There was another Clark goal to come, this from Chelsea's adventurous right-back Steve Clark, but with 2 minutes left, it only improved the margin of Chelsea's defeat. 4-2 to Queen's Park Rangers. Nottingham Forest had won their previous 4 games at the City Ground. Norwich City had lost their previous 4 away games. It looked as if the match would follow recent form, a near miss by Nigel Clough from a typically precise Forest attack. But a minute before half-time, Norwich City nipped into the lead. Mark Bowen, their Welsh international left-back, has shown an eye for an opening often this season. This his 4th goal so far, and a priceless one for Norwich City. Nottingham Forest couldn't regain the lost ground in the second half, although they dictated the tempo of the match. Brian Rice shooting with plenty of power, but the points went to Norwich City. Howard Kendall's knowledge of Manchester City's playing staff comes from watching them lose 2-1 at Southampton, where Clive Allen quickly offered a reminder that the new manager has inherited a reliable goalscorer. His priority, though, will be to tighten a leaky defence. Rod Wallace raced through to equalise for Southampton. And typical of City's recent ill fortune, they found substitute Barry Horne anxious to make an impact. Howard Kendall is certainly in a hot seat. City chairman Peter Swales isn't renowned for his patience.
Charlton were at home to Millwall and took the lead when Paul Williams set up youngster Scott Minto to score his first ever league goal. Just 5 minutes later, Millwall equalised from a Paul Stevenson corner. The goal headed in by Steve Antrobus. The final score, 1-1. Meanwhile, Palace met Manchester United at Old Trafford. United taking the lead after only 9 minutes. The scorer, Russell Beardsmore. 5 minutes before half-time, the Palace double act of Wright and Bright created an equaliser. Ian Wright's cross, Mark Bright's header. 9 minutes into the second half, Manchester United's defence was pulled apart and there was an unhappy moment for goalkeeper Jim Leighton as Bright's header sneaks in.
Williams, the through ball, and a good one too, and a lovely turn from Saunders. Goddard, what a good goal! 50 yards in 2 passes. Still not clear. Scales, 1-1. 4 minutes from time. Wimbledon may have saved it.
Sheffield Wednesday began confidently against Luton. Throw taken quickly by Nigel Worthington. King pumps it back in, and spot what happens here, if you can. Here's a clue. John Dreyer flat out on the ground, and here's the answer. The clearance by James, and it comes there, off the face of John Dreyer. And when he came round, you'll discover he scored one of the own goals of the season. It looked like being a winning debut for Roland Nielsen, the Swedish defender with whom Ron Atkinson practiced in the dark because he arrived so late on Friday. But Luton got an equaliser midway through the second half. It's a good, deep cross from Williams. And a terrific flying header from young Julian James in his first full game of the season. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Luton 1.